Hi, I'm top Orlando Realtor Scott Garrison with ReMax Town & Country, Orlando's #1 real estate company. I've lived here in East Orlando since I've been a boy. I went to Winter Park High School and then graduated from UCF right down the road. And I've been listing and selling real estate here in the area full-time for over 35 years. Today, we're diving into the story of one of the biggest names in shaping Oviedo, the Duda family. The Duda family is famous for their fresh farm foods, their ranches, and for developing properties, but it all began with humble roots right here in our city of Oviedo. It all kicked off in 1909 when Andrew Duda and his buddies came over from Slovakia with a big dream to live the American dream. They wanted their own land to freely practice their faith and to make a better life for their families. When they were facing tough times with no cash in hand, they got a helping hand from the Slovakian community in Cleveland, Ohio. After learning the ropes and proving themselves, they all hopped on a train and headed here to almost the middle of nowhere to Oviedo, Florida. Now, Andrew had 3 sons, John, Andrew Jr., and Fernandad. According to Andy, or Andrew Jr., their dad had some solid advice. Focus on growing celery because it's easy to ship. And when it comes to beans, just pick the fruit and toss the bushes. Then he made it all clear. If you're selling your crop, sell it all. So in 1926, despite some early setbacks, Andrew Duda came back and made a big call to plant celery on his 40 acres of land. And that's where their journey really took off. Andrew and his sons, John, Andrew Jr., and Fernandad, harvested their first cash crop and started up A. Duda and Sons. Fueled by passion and determination, the company keeps on growing, boosting production and creating more job opportunities that help Oviedo's economy here thrive. Celery became a symbol of Oviedo's success during tough times like the World Wars, the Roaring '20s, and the Great Depression, when all other parts of the country were struggling. The introduction of a railway system in Oviedo was a game changer for the cultural industry, especially celery farming. Another big step forward was the arrival of ice houses and refrigeration. This meant that farmers could harvest more of their crops more efficiently and make more money selling fresher fruits and vegetables. They even used refrigerated box cars to keep their produce fresh until it reached the buyers. Lots of farmers in Oviedo and Sanford were growing celery in the early 1900s, and they relied on the local ice houses to store their goods. The Duda family kept on leading the way in celery production in the city. Thanks to their streamlined logistics and refrigeration technology, they could supply fresh produce all across the country. Pretty soon, our city of Oviedo and the nearby city of Sanford became known as the celery capital of the USA, growing more celery than anywhere else in America and anywhere else in the world. More celery was grown here than anywhere else on the planet. But sadly, during the 1980s, a series of winter freezes shut down the agricultural complex for good. By then, commercial development is taking over as Oviedo's main industry. Bring more people in, let's build some more houses. It's pretty wild to think about, but just a century ago, Oviedo was all about celery and citrus. So as you wander around the town and you dig into its history, you'll start noticing all the signs of that unique past that helped shape our town into what it is today. Their success story started with a sod farm, growing crops, and expanding their land. Eventually, they became one of the biggest landowners around. Nowadays, Duda and Sons pulls in a hefty $464 million in revenue. They've got about 1,000 regular employees, plus an extra 3,000 folks during the busy seasons. Duda doesn't just do business, it's a big part of the local economies here and in the communities that it operates in. It makes a real difference just beyond selling stuff. Still holding on to their status as major landowners and employers here in Oviedo, Duda has been based right here since 1926 with a strong tradition of getting involved in the community. Their impact on Oviedo goes way beyond just business. They've helped with economic development, contributed to tax revenue, looked after the environment, and giving big support to charitable causes. The company has poured millions into local schools, hospitals, and all sorts of community groups, leaving a lasting impression on the community. So that's just a little bit about the history of Duda and Sons, some more local Oviedo history. If you decide you want to move to East Orlando to participate in our history, why not call Realtors Scott Garrison and Deanna Sacoto, the experienced realtors you already know. Obviously, we're committed to, and we know the area. With over 35 years of experience selling properties right here in Oviedo, we might be the obvious choice. Stay tuned to find out more about East Orlando current events and past history right here.